I'm a 29-year-old guy, and about 18 months ago, I started seeing Megan, who's 27. We were introduced by some mutual friends and clicked right away. Things felt like they were moving in the right direction. At least, that's what I thought. We even started talking about moving in together once a lease ended in a few months. Last Friday night, Megan went out with her co-workers for a birthday celebration. I stayed home and tried to find a show she had mentioned recently on Netflix. It wasn't appearing under my profile, so I figured she might have saved it to her own watch list. When I tried to log into her account, I got the password wrong on the first attempt, which was strange because she had changed it. Out of habit, I tried a password she commonly used, even though I'd warned her more than once not to reuse the same one everywhere. It worked. While browsing for the show, I noticed she'd been watching a trashy dating reality series, the kind she always made fun of me for watching. I brushed it off and eventually found the show I was looking for. After watching a couple of episodes, I was about to log out when I accidentally clicked into her profile settings. That's when I noticed her Netflix was still connected to her email. Just then, a notification popped up, an email from Instagram saying one of her posts was getting lots of engagement. That surprised me, because Megan barely ever posted on social media. In fact, the last time she posted publicly was 3 months ago during a hiking trip we took together. Curiosity got the better of me. I paused for a moment, then decided to try logging into her Instagram with that same password. It worked, but I didn't just find the account I knew. There was a second, private account I had never seen before. It only had 14 followers. The handle was something like Real Megan Thoughts, and the bio read, "A place to be real, no eggshells, no filters." As I began scrolling, my heart sank. The entire account was a personal diary of ridicule, directed at me. Post after post tore into our relationship and mocked me openly. One post from just a week ago read, "Another exhilarating Friday night of boring documentaries. Is this seriously my life? Someone please end it." There were dozens more like that, going back at least 6 months. She called me dull, unoriginal, a guy with a stable bank account but an empty soul. One entry described me as training wheels until the real husband shows up. Another mocked intimate details about our sex life, things that should have stayed between us. But the one that hit me the hardest was a post describing how she ran into an ex unexpectedly and, in 5 brief minutes, felt more alive than she had in our entire relationship. What made it worse wasn't just her cruelty, it was the responses. Her friends, her sister, even some co-workers were reacting with laughing emojis and comments. They were all in on it, part of the running joke. Except me. I just sat there, stunned. It felt like someone had stomped on my chest. After a while, I started taking screenshots. Every post, every reply, every betrayal. I wanted to confront her in person when she got home, but the more I looked through the posts, the more my anger grew. This wasn't some slip-up or isolated rant. This was a routine, a whole side of her life built on mocking me. So, I made a decision. I created a carousel post on my own Instagram. I didn't write a caption. I didn't tag her. I didn't add a single word. Just the screenshots, posted publicly for anyone to see. Her mom, Sandra, was the first to notice. That's when everything started falling apart. By early Saturday morning, I posted everything from her private account. Again, with no explanations. Just the raw truth of who she was when my back was turned. Then I shut off my phone and hit the gym for a couple hours. When I finally turned it back on, my notifications were blowing up. My roommate told me Megan's mom had seen the post almost immediately. She apparently had alerts on for both Megan and me. Her comment said, "Megan Christine Davis, call me right now. Your father now absolutely disgusted." By mid-morning, my phone was flooded with calls, texts, and voicemail from Megan. She started off furious, yelling at me for violating her privacy and demanding I remove the post. Then came the justifications. She claimed the account was just for letting off steam, that it wasn't meant to be serious, that everyone needs a space to vent. When that didn't work, she escalated to threats. Her father was supposedly calling a lawyer, accusing me of defamation and invading her privacy. I wasn't fazed. Then she tried pleading. She begged me to take the post down because her boss followed me and might see it. She was worried about her job. And when none of that moved me, she finally broke. Voicemails filled with sobbing, desperate texts saying how sorry she was, swearing she never meant any of it, and that she truly loved me. I didn't respond to a single message. I let it all play out. By Sunday, the fallout was total. Megan's sister reached out, not to defend her, but to apologize for having supported her behavior. She admitted to encouraging it and said she regretted it deeply. A couple of mutual friends also messaged me, expressing their shock. They said they had no idea Megan was capable of that and apologized for ever doubting me. Later that day, her roommate Kate showed up. She handed me a box with my things inside and gave me an awkward look before saying, "She's a mess right now." She didn't try to justify Megan's actions, but mentioned that Megan had been called into an emergency HR meeting that morning. Apparently, her job had placed her on leave while they assessed how the situation was affecting the company's image. I just nodded and took the box. As Kate turned to leave, she added, "For what it's worth, I never followed that account. She invited me, but I told her it was wrong to talk about you like that. That's why things got tense between us." Then came Monday morning. Megan showed up in person around 7 a.m. She looked wrecked, eyes swollen from crying, hair tangled, clothes wrinkled. "Can we talk?" she asked softly, standing in the doorway like a shadow of herself. I let her in, but didn't offer her anything. Not coffee, not comfort. I simply sat across from her at the kitchen table, silent, waiting. After a long pause, her voice cracked as she spoke. "I've lost everything in just 2 days. My parents are furious. My dad's threatening to cut off my student loans. Half my friends won't even reply to me. I'm suspended from work. And now I've lost you." She looked devastated. Then she asked, "Why did you have to make it public? Why didn't you just come to me first?" I stared at her and replied, "Kinda like how you came to me when you were feeling angry or unhappy, instead of turning me into a punchline for your friends." She winced, like the words physically stung. "That's different," she murmured. "How?" I asked. "Because you thought I'd never find out? Because you said it all behind my back?" She couldn't respond. She just sat there, crying quietly. After a while, I said, "If you had just been honest with me, if you told me you were feeling disconnected or restless, I would have listened. I would have worked on it. Instead, you acted like everything was fine to my face and tore me apart when I wasn't around. I was just a filler to you, a temporary comfort." "It wasn't everyone," she whispered. "Only a few people I trusted." 14 people. I corrected her, including your boss's daughter. "That's not a secret diary, Megan. That's a private roast party." At that point, she completely broke down. Through sobs, she begged me, "Please take the post down. I've learned my lesson. You've already destroyed enough of my life." "I didn't destroy anything," I said calmly. "All I did was hold up a mirror. You did the rest." Eventually, she left. We didn't resolve anything. There was no closure, just silence and the door closing behind her. Later that day, I took the post down. Not for her, but because I didn't want to carry the weight of that mess any longer. I had made my point. It was over. It's been 2 weeks since that day. Megan moved back in with her parents for the time being. From what I've heard through mutual friends, she's returned to work, but she missed out on a promotion she was almost guaranteed. Most of our shared friends have gone quiet. They are probably unsure how to navigate the fallout. A few days ago, I got a message from her mom. It was surprisingly kind. She said she was heartbroken over how things ended, but she understood why I did what I did. She mentioned that she was working with Megan to help her grow into someone better. As for me, I'm managing, still sorting through the emotions, still adjusting to the realization that the person I thought I was building a life with never actually existed. She wasn't real. She was a role she played. Some people have told me I went too far, that I should have just ended things quietly and walked away without putting it all out there. Maybe they are right. But after discovering the depth of her betrayal, the sheer double life she was living, something inside me snapped. The worst part wasn't the insults. It was realizing she was never the person I thought she was.